Hey there, how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Grinding with Borgman, episode 11. Gorgeous Friday here. Hope everybody's been having a good week. Hope you've been getting stuff done, grinding through. Oh, fantastic. Welcome, Anatman. Little elite speak in there, huh? So yesterday we were we were doing some thumbnails for warm-ups for a client for a mural we're doing next week, but today we're gonna be, since we got those done, we're gonna be hopping into just some normal warm-ups here. So hope you got something that you got to be grinding out to while I'm getting my grind on. But yesterday after the stream, last night actually, my dad had sent me a message in his and mine and my brother's group text chain. He was asking me about AI art, AI generated artwork, and there's been a lot of stuff on that lately, and I wanted to just kind of share my thoughts on that. I've been watching a lot of videos lately on other people's thoughts and what people think it's gonna do to the creative community and some of the stuff like that, and it's like any new technology, it's going to be kind of controversial, but it's also something that we kind of need to integrate into our lives. Actually, it inspired me to actually utilize some of the AI programs out there. I used Midjourney, and they have a Discord and you can sign up online. Clients. But yeah, and play with Stable Diffusion. Oh, I'm not familiar with Stable Diffusion. I'll have to look into that, man. But yeah, I just played around with some Midjourney last night and I actually used it to assist with the drawing, with the sketches and thumbnails that I'm doing for the client. And that right there, I think, is the perfect encapsulation of what this offers, what this new technology is going to offer artists and stuff. And that's a freedom from tedium. It's the opening to any project is the part where you're feeling compositions, you're putting ideas down, but you're not really. We're kind of creating like a Slender Man guy over here. I was realizing that I wanted some stretched proportions. This is going to be his legs are a little shorter than his arms. I think that's some very wide hip bones. But yeah, no, I think that's one of the things that's gonna really help it. Goodness gracious, who is going crazy texting me? Yeah, sorry, other artists texting me, complaining about clients. Clients need to understand that to get what they want, they need to participate in the creative process, and they need to do it from the start of the project, because that will save them time and money.
Is there anything else I can get you?
Because every single time you ask us to change something, we're going to be charging you for it. So if we nail down what you want at the early stages. But anyways, sorry, these texts getting me off track here. But yeah, no, the cool thing about the AI art is that it allows you to skip a lot of the opening process of any creative piece when you're creating your tonal thumbnails, you're trying to establish like the emotion that you're going for, and the cool thing with the AI is the more descriptive you are, the more artistic you are with your input prompt, the better results you're gonna get. So, like I was specifying like the color range that I wanted, along with like the scene that I was trying to set, so that along with my sketches, and so the thumbnails created by the AI, which I then modified even further in Photoshop, I'm excited to see how much AI can speed up the creative process and the development process, because I'll be able to, create a base layer of artwork that I can then build off of. And it's just about incorporating this new tool into your process. I mean, the first time somebody propositioned a mathematician with using a calculator instead of a slide rule, they were like, well, how do I know this thing's going to be accurate? Everybody resists the newest technology, the newest tool, and in integrating it, finding effective ways to integrate it is going to be the most important path to success with it. I'm excited for it. I have some projects coming up. I can't wait. See? Right there. Anatman, this guy, he knows. He's the first calculators, but now, and then from the first calculator to the first TI-83, the first like graphing calculator, I'm just saying, the progression of technology. And now we have supercomputers that do quantum computing, where ones and zeros exist simultaneously within an equation. He wouldn't have a distinct nose. This guy would have like a very alien looking nose. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, the whole reason I got on this was this tangent. Really, I should call the videos Tangents with Borgman, because I'm drawing tangents and going on tangents. Get it? There's a little math / art joke right there. Because apparently there was this art contest, and the winner of the art contest used an AI-generated image. And a lot of artists were complaining about it. And it's just kind of like showcasing my point, where it's the person who won, like the computer may have generated the art, but the idea and the concept for the work was generated by the guy who won. He's the one who gave the inputs to the AI to create the image. So it's not like he was just like, hey computer, make me any piece of art, whatever, I'm going to submit whatever you make and put it in and win. And so we're going with some weird poses. We want to get as if someone's swimming, maybe. But yeah, so that was just kind of like showcasing my point, where it's. But anyways, I don't know. What do y'all think of AI artwork? I think it's exciting. I feel like it increases the accessibility of art. And honestly, you know what's funny is the best art with this, the best artists will become the best artists, it has potential for the best artists in the world to now be writers, like a creative writer, somebody who is, like rich in vocabulary and description and mental imagery, and their ability to convey that, have the capability, even if they don't have the best mechanical art skills, have the capacity to now create breathtaking pieces through this tool. So you just need to read more if you're scared of AI art. Increase your vocabulary so that way you can then convey more effectively the mental imagery that you envision. But hey, that's just one dude's opinion. And honestly, I feel like the people complaining about it are the people who are it's the equivalent of being a factory worker and complaining that one person can now do the job that used to take 3 people because machines have replaced you. Like, you have to adapt, Like, okay, how can I now use this tool to make something more impressive, more special, more visually enticing? What is gonna, how can I use this tool to set myself apart from everybody else, rather than, I mean, just based on, statistical stuff, I would imagine that many artists tend to steer in the more liberal direction, and, coal mine workers tend to steer in the conservative direction politically. So this is literally the equivalent of like Silicon Valley people being like, oh, learn to code because you're, instead of working a coal mine because you're in debt. Well, learn to use the AI, because instead of unless you want to use traditional practical mediums, because guess what a computer can't do? Hold a damn paintbrush. So, if you're using the computer and that's all you know how to use, then expand your skill set. So that way the computer can't replace you. Because I don't know if they're ever going to have oil paint printers. I mean, you can always get something printed on canvas. I mean, I've done it for clients before. You just ship it to them and stuff like that, and it's nice to work digitally for those, but at the same time, like, anything on the computer is at risk of being replaced by a robot / artificial intelligence. Let's be honest. Except for the most like complex lines of code that like, well, no, even those, because they've discovered, me and Toasty Whooper the other day, we're talking about, he was informing us of this robot that or AI that was able to, they're already able to self-improve and self-replicate if given the opportunity. So we can't give them the opportunity. But yeah. Anyways, there you go. Those are Borgman's thoughts on AI art. What else was in the news recently that I was looking at? Oh. Boop. What was the other thing? I don't know. Anatman, supply us with something. What are we talking about here? Robots, space travel. Oh goodness. Now they want. But anyways, we had been discussing James Webb Telescope images. We've talked quite a bit about the James Webb stuff. The discovery of those two ultra deep field. In what context? What is the context of ultra deep field? Is that the Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. That's the type of telescope that it is. Okay. I thought that you were like rattling off things that we should be discussing. You know what we should be discussing? How everybody can make money during a recession, because we got one incoming. Coming in hot. No. We want to discuss nanobots and James Webb Telescope and I do like the fact that the Hubble telescope is not obsolete, because it can register things on the spectrum that the James Webb can't, on the electromagnetic spectrum that the James Webb can. So it's just nice that, because I remember like when I was a kid, like the first Hubble images and how big a deal it was, and it's cool that it's not obsolete. Look at that booty though. Let's see. But oh yeah, the fact that I mean James Webb, we were discussing, revealed that we're colliding with the Andromeda galaxy. Milky Way is colliding with Andromeda. That's cool. I had the other thing we had discussed once was amongst emerging technologies was the Neuralink that Elon Musk is developing. And here's my query to you all. What generation of Neuralink would you get? Would you go for the first gen, or would you wait a bit, or would you not get it at all? I was saying that third to fourth gen, you don't want to wait too long, because you become a second-class citizen if you wait too long. But you also don't want to be the first, because then there will be problems. But if you're too late too, that's when they start implementing the control stuff. Yeah, exactly. Hacking people's brains. Well, on that note, on the note of the AI art, the one reason I would be excited about the Neuralink is because I would literally just hook up to my computer and directly communicate with the AI what I'm trying to do, and then it would just create it for me. So then you would just think your art into existence. That's a cool thought. Oh, bonked your head. My cat. I'm sure you all heard the knock from it smacking itself. The brain hacking is going to be... I love that we are literally rushing headlong towards the Ghost in a Shell Cyberpunk 2077 dystopia theme, and everybody's just chill with it. They're like, yeah, no, this is the future we were looking forward to. The internet is cordoned off into state-approved sections, and the rest of it is inaccessible due to the nastiest viruses known to man. computer viruses. Or not just... your identity doesn't just get stolen. You literally lose your sense of identity. Because they hack into your brain. My goodness. I have all the doors and windows open because it's finally like getting nice and cool outside. But they're making a lot of noise out there. I don't like it. Disrupting stuff. Hear that? Jeez, I'm crow. Yeah, I gotta go shut some windows, man. Gotta get some more my goodness, I'm working really small today. Don't have as much. What was oh man, I had seen something really interesting the other day. I can't remember what oh man, I have so much trouble keeping track of stuff sometimes. If anybody has any, I gotta learn the mind palace trick. That's the sound of hydration. Your friendly water break reminder. Keep yourselves hydrated, people. Yeah, I gotta learn the mind palace trick, so that way when I see, so I can just remember things. You know, the Sherlock Holmes, my mind palace. I loved that Benedict Cumberbatch series. I love that I call it the Benedict Cumberbatch series instead of the... See? I can't remember his name right now. Frodo. Or not Frodo, Bilbo from the recent... The recent movies. Well, not that recent. Right. I think the problem is, I actually looked into the Mind Palace theory and like the concept of it, and it's really cool, but one of the things that it requires is that you have a space that you are super duper familiar with, like from childhood, or, you know, just, well, any place that you are so intimately familiar with, you can construct the room, the space in your mind. So whether it's a childhood home, or, you know, where you grew up, or where you currently live, or something like that. And the problem was I've moved around so much in my life that I don't think I can ever actually create a mind palace, because I've never been in a place long enough to have those kind of memories of it. Like, I remember what the various places I grew up looked like, but there were so many of them. So, like, I don't know if military kids could. AI is hard. AI researchers were so consumed by whether they could that they never considered whether they should. Yes, no, we actually have discussed exactly that concept. I think we can absolutely, ethicists were so consumed by whether they should that they never considered whether they can even do. Well, I mean, I don't think they needed to consider it, because I think, when did Siri first get released into iPhones, because like that simple like, you know, task, that kind of like simple like input command with like recognized words was the first like iteration almost of it, of you know, a very like base level pseudo AI. And I think they immediately were just like, oh, like AI is possible, like true AI is definitely going to be possible. Oh, Siri sucks, but that's because like, I mean, they're not going to put a legit AI into anybody's phone, you know? Like, that's a horrible idea. Just give a legit AI unfettered access to every one of your clients' phones. And each AI would be independent of the other. That would... If Siri became sentient, oh my god, that would be horrifying. I don't know. I thought that they didn't they create an AI with sentience, or was it false sentience? The Google AI, or you know, I don't know. Never let Boston Dynamic get their hands on it. Although Google owns Boston Dynamic now, don't they? Google's trying to start Skynet. Was a sensationalist head. Well, hey man, thank you for stopping in, and have fun at the work event, alright? Appreciate you stopping by. Go grind, my friend. Go grind. I don't know what 07 means, but right back at ya. Unless it's a rude thing, then not back at ya. That's not what triceps look like when it's bent, people. This is what triceps look like. I mean, basic shape, not super good, but you know. Triceps weave. They weave. It's actually really cool the way muscles wrap. Like if you look at deltoid into bicep, into tricep, it's literally like that's a shoulder into an arm right there. That's literally how the muscles weave together. And then that curls under, and then that curls under, and then that goes out. It's just this like coiling chain. Actually, they're I can't remember the instructor, but somebody did release there are tutorials out there that inform the construction of the arm as if you're building a chain. You know, that's not a good chain. But yeah, if you're just building a chain. So it'd be shoulder, bicep, tricep, bicep brachii, elbow, right there. I mean, that's a very sketchy. I was feathering in the lines, never a good thing. Confidence in your lines. Man, are they yelling about stuff like that? I gotta go. I'm having some drama outside my house right now. Jeez. Let's see. All right. Release at the I'm gonna do somebody with a bow and arrow. Oh. She's gonna be a cutie. Boom, get that foreshortening. Bam, slam that knee in there. Boom, bam, turning up the heat. I always have to give them a little bit more neck. It's something I do often. I don't create graceful necks. There we go. Then we create that chain. Boom, there's the next link. Boom, there's the next link. That would extend into the breasts. Digging these jams. Then we'll just, for funsies, because it's fun, it's good to have fun, just block in some underlighting there. There we go. What's sad is if I can't get this music situation to resolve itself for the actual like VODs and the YouTube things, I have to remember to keep talking, because sometimes I just enjoy just, vibing on the music a bit too, but for some reason it can't be heard on some of the playbacks. So somebody with more knowledge than me, I definitely have to do more work and look it up myself. Not asking anybody else to solve my problems, but I definitely need to. It's a problem that needs solving. Nice little arrow relief situation there. Oh. All right. Well, there we go. We're feeling loose. We're feeling warmed up. Feeling good about, having fun with these sketches. So we're just going to go ahead and save this warm up. We're going to hop right back into that showdown piece from years ago. Oh, there we go. Into the warm-up journal. Always be sure to label your stuff with a date, so that way you can find it easier. Oh wait, it's the 9th month, September. Boom. Closing that. Oh, and here's so here's some of the AI generated images that I had put together after our sketches, and then then I went through and recolored them and tried to push them more into this color palette for the client. And that's what I mean, where it's like, so right there, that's 12 extra thumbnails that I get to show them, which can then in turn narrow down their decision, the decisions they want to make for their mural, so that way we can be more effective. And clients, please be a part of the creative process, so that way edits don't need to be made, really. It's important. But anyways, hopping back into this. See, and the other thing that you're going to be able to do is, like, I'll be able to be like, okay, I want a storm-ravaged grass field, pockmarked and smoking, with rolling hills, a darkened sky, lancing with lightning crackling and lancing across it. Boom, have the AI generate that. Then you're like, okay, a figure in armor and cowl, sword, one sword drawn, another emerging from its sheath as they prepare for battle. And then you have the AI, so then the AI generates that image. Then you have a third one where you're like, okay, the camera set behind the figure, an over-the-shoulder view of a monstrous form wielding an axe and roaring in fury. So then you take those three images and then you refine them yourself and start to pull elements you want, and then you push all of that together to create the scene you want, that you're envisioning. That's all I'm saying with the AI stuff. It's gonna be a great addition to your tool belt. You just gotta incorporate it. I mean, there's a reason that doctors have to go to conferences, because medical technology is always evolving, and if you're not evolving with it, then you don't get to be a doctor anymore. Evolve or die. And, certain elements of art are never going to be able to be reproduced by AI art. I mean, actually, John Oliver, they did a Last Week Tonight on it. And, they're finding that one of the things that it's really weak with is, human faces when it comes to specificity. So, it knows if you're just human anatomy, I want, front view, human face, proper anatomy, whatever, it's going to be able to do that. But it's not going to do well with emotion it's not going to do well with the specifics of a figure's face. Oh, sorry, I had a brief disconnect there. It's not going to do well with any of like the specifics, you know? So again, more reasons that you're saying. You know what? I feel like it's actually a good thing, because it's going to make art challenging again. Like, it's going to make... Because one of the things that I've noticed a little bit with art lately is it doesn't feel like it challenges people's preconceptions as much as it did before. Like, you know, some of the reason the great artists were great was because the fact that their work challenged people. It challenged their ideas about the world, ideas about society, you know, and people don't really want to be challenged by art anymore. And I think that is one of the things that AI art is going to give rise to is artists challenging society again. You know, whether it's I mean, granted, I'm talking like some pretty old artists, like back when like we were a purely theologian society, like, and they were like, yo, religion's not a good thing, here's some stuff. Like, I'm actually, that's an oil painting, the oil painting series that I'm doing right now. I'm trying to kind of challenge people a bit, like, because I really feel that people are losing the nuance in the world. People are very much kind of dividing things into just black and white. You know, people are just dividing things into binary, us or them, this side, that side. They're eliminating nuance, and they're eliminating like the ability to even recognize nuance and what it is and what it provides. And that frustrates me greatly, like, because it's like the world is nothing but grays, and the grays are what make things beautiful. The grays are what make this beautiful, you know? If it was just black and white and nothing else, it would not be nearly as interesting, not nearly as worth the effort of you looking at it and analyzing it. So, I just want to challenge people's conceptions of like, what is good, what is evil, why are these notions, why are we cementing these notions when there's literally good and evil in everything? Why are we allowing ourselves to, you know, why are we allowing ourselves to be pigeonholed into, you know, these very basic definitions of right and wrong? You know, is it wrong to steal a loaf of bread to feed you and your starving family? Is it wrong for the baker to press charges if you get caught? Like, is it wrong for the baker? Yeah, you know, like there's so much nuance and people are trying to eliminate that. Because thinking, we're relegating our thinking to other things. We don't want to do it for ourselves anymore. That's a huge issue. People don't want to self-reflect, don't want to analyze their own decisions. I mean, you know, I'm not saying I support one way or the other, like, within our political landscape, but regardless of what people have or have not done, one of the things that you can be sure of is that say you support a monster, like, you know, who turns out to be like a horrible person, the last thing that you want to do after you know, being caught up in something like that is admit that you're wrong. Like, and understandably so. That's human nature, you know, like, but it's important to accept when you've made a mistake, acknowledge the mistakes you've made, and then grow, adapt, and learn from them. And that, you know, that just goes for everything. It's just like the only reason one of the reasons I bring that up is just because that's where the most that's where I've witnessed the most belligerence and unwillingness to bend is within our current, regardless of what side you support, like, you know, left or right, nobody's willing to budge for some reason. And it's because both CNN and Fox News are evil, and they just want your ratings. And if making it all Americans hate each other is the way that they can boost their ratings, then that's what they're going to do. And I think people need to acknowledge and accept that they're a commodity, and actually find it empowering. I would argue that us being essentially like our information being, like, you know, kind of sold, and our attention being sought after by these corporations, could be a really beneficial thing, because it empowers us over, you know, them. It empowers the viewer / user over them, because your attention, you're the commodity. Your attention is the thing that they desire. Like more than money even is your attention. So you now have this like unique opportunity to be the most powerful force on the planet, because you decide where your attention goes. And if you give your attention to things with intention, then you can actually like make a lot of progress. But it would require all of us working together kind of as a whole, being like, oh, that's where we want, this is what we want, this is what we're paying attention to. But instead we're allowing them to dictate where our attention goes. And that's the dangerous part, you know? Like, I mean, that how many people watched the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, you know? And it's like, that was just sensationalist news. And at the same time that was going on, the Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell trial was going on, and there was no coverage of it, because they didn't want your attention on that. But it's like, because our attention is now the commodity, we have a unique power over content, since it's so accessible, I guess, is what I'm kind of driving at. Ugh. Oof. Straining my neck a little bit. Oof. I need to work on my posture. This guy's almost Mongolian looking with his... Ooh, yeah. Get those veins in there. Oh, are we losing connection again? Yeah, man, we're having some connection issues here, people. Sorry about that. And we'll do that. And I was actually just thinking, I was like, oh, what if, I really don't want this ever to become a channel with any kind of like. I had just been using current politics as an example of, you know, a binary system where we've lost all nuance. You're either on one side or the other. But I never want this to be like a political channel. And I think one of the important things to think about is if you reacted to that, if you felt some way about me saying those things, you know, regardless of who you are, if you were like, you know, how dare you allude to me being wrong? I didn't. I did not allude to any side being wrong. So if you thought that, examine it, because maybe deep down you think you're wrong, and you don't want to accept it yet, because nobody likes to. It is human nature to not want to feel like a fool. And, you know, politicians are great at making us feel foolish. They lie for a living. Or, sorry, they don't lie for a living, they pander for a living. And that's a distinction we need to make, you know. I think that things are done with great intention, but, you know, there's that old adage, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, you know, basically everything is gray. And accept that there are two sides to every story, there are two sides to every coin. You could very well be in the right or the wrong, depending on, you know, depending on, well, depending on a lot of things. I mean, you know, every single time the U.S. takes out a, you know, terrorist leader or whatever with a drone strike, it's like, woo, like victory for the good guys. You know, like that's the story, that's the narrative that's given to us. But at the same time, like, you know, the children in Mosul are like, they live in constant fear of the noise of a drone approaching. So it's like, you know, two sides to every coin. We radicalize more people than we save. And I think we just need to be more aware. I think self-awareness is something that we're short on right now. And the first step to growth is to accept that you need to, you know? We all need to get into the 12-step program, but for thought. I have to accept that there are things outside of my control. Sorry, I don't mean that to sound like I'm mocking people who have found success with the 12-step program. Congratulations. Sincerely. I'm just a man trying to grind his way through life. All right. Feeling. Okay, OBS, what are you doing, bud? You are having some struggles here. Why do I have connection issues? All right. Well, today might be a shorter episode. I just have. It seems that I'm having some connection issues with OBS, and on top of that, I am gonna be driving all over the state today to run errands. So, I apologize if you were, looking forward to that extra half an hour of company while you work through stuff. I don't know if that's going to be happening for me today. Yeah, just seem to be having some technical issues that we need to work through, and if see, I'm having constant disconnections and reconnections. So, yeah. So yeah, while I've still got this working, I think we're gonna leave it there, possibly for today. While I go ahead and work on some of this stuff, and work on keep working on the channel and keep improving it and getting it to where I want it to be, and to be what I want it to be. Still, thinking about maybe kind of shift into more of a podcast conversational format while this is going on. Okay. Well, thank you for increasing my chat numbers, but I'm okay. Rifa TZBD. You're a digital marketer, provided the Twitch follower, Twitch Prime subscriber, Twitch views, Twitch live views. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, anyways, thank you all so much for joining me. If you did, thanks for giving it a view. If you're doing it on demand or on YouTube, and start seeing the grays. Start seeing all the beautiful nuance that is in the world, because it's important. It's important to understand that there is no definitive right and definitive wrong, except where children are concerned. It's definitively right and wrong. So let's pay attention to the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. No, but anyways, thank you so much for joining me. And again, start seeing those grays. Help other people see them too. Look inward. Always be improving. Always be grinding. And come join me Monday next week. This stream might be going a bit earlier because I'm going to be doing a project all week where I'm going to have to be out of the studio. So we might be either pre-recording or streaming earlier next week. But I will go ahead and figure that out, and which one we're going to do, and post those. So thank you again for joining, and love y'all, and love each other. Put love out into the world, because the only thing you get to take with you is the impressions you left. So leave good ones. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Love y'all. Bye.